Alright, what's up guys? So I'm making a video today, and it's not the traditional video I would do either with the Mustang, the Subaru, or the Genesis. This one's actually going to be a pretty simple video. I've been seeing a lot of it on like Facebook or Instagram, so on and so forth, or even just talking to people. And this is actually super simple. The concept is how to jack up your car. Okay, it sounds simple, I know, but a lot of people don't get the concept, or they don't use like extra precautions like the actual car jack itself or the jack stand, which is very important. I've seen a lot of people actually end up getting hurt or end up dead from not using the jack stand, so I'm just gonna make this quick video just to show you guys the simple steps. Now, for people that don't know how to do this, or let's say you're on the side of the road with a flat tire, most cars come standard with a spare tire in your trunk. Spare tire, spare jack, all that stuff. It's usually underneath the floorboard in the trunk. The Mustang has one, Subaru has one, Genesis has one, that Volkswagen there has one. It's all different things. So if you do ever have a flat on the side of the road and you're panicking and you're not into you're not into cars and you don't do all that car stuff, check the trunk and lift up the floorboard in the back of the trunk. There's probably a whole emergency kit back there with a spare tire, jack. It's not going to be a good jack, but it'll be a jack to jack the car up to get the tire off, as well as with a you'll have like a lug bar probably back there. But yeah, so if you're going to jack a car up, obviously you don't want to just go up into the middle. I've seen people and posts on Facebook where people will just slap it right in the middle and then end up having this whole thing crease in, or like this is an ABS plastic side skirt. This will end up probably cracking and bending in. Underneath there's actually jack points. If you look, there's actually a whole metal bar right here designed to carry the load of the car. So you obviously would jack there. Now if you're just going to leave the car jacked up, you can have the jack stand somewhere close by to hold it, just in case if it falls. That would give you enough time to get out from underneath of it and reposition everything. But the main jacking point would be, usually it's in the front quarter of the car. So right in the front quarter below the front door on the corner. Same thing with the back. The back would end up being in the back corner right here. Now this is on the Subaru. We can even look over at the Mustang. The Mustang should be similar as well. Same concept. They have a little like cutout anywhere where the double welds are. You should be good. If you really don't have the space to run a jack stand up underneath it, you could hit it over by the like subframe or something up front and hold it up temporarily by that. But don't try to lift it up in the middle of the car, because there's not really any extra support, and more than likely you'll end up messing up the side skirt itself, or you'll end up denting in one of the metal creases up front, up underneath the body, which would not be fun. Now with the Genesis, obviously that's a little bit lower than the Subaru or the Mustang is. So with that ordeal, I'd have to kind of like jack it up to a point where either I roll up on a board and it gives me a little bit of extra space, or maybe even just roll up into the grass where it kind of lifts the car up just enough so I can slide the jack underneath. But I'm going to show you guys. So if you have your normal jack, obviously you got to move the jack over, find the jacking point, which is right here, slide it over, make sure the teeth, if it does have teeth, flat ones are a little bit better because it doesn't damage anything, but the teeth will actually give you a point to position it. And also with the teeth, it allows you to spin it around and actually grab the one spot. And with this jack, so obviously you have a little adjustment screw right here. So if you tighten it, which is righty tighty, lefty loosey, so spin it to the right, it's tightened, or if you spin it to the left, it allows it to drop down. So we're going to keep it locked to the right, and we're just going to pump it up and watch it as it hits the jack point. which it's snug there, so we can just keep going. And as you see, the car is slowly lifting off the ground like it should. And usually you're pretty good when you get the car to a point where, here I'll sit you down so you can watch. Usually you're good to the point where you can lift it up just to the point where that front tire lifts off the ground. So, front tire off the ground. You can spin the wheel a little bit. I mean, you can go up a little bit more if you want. There we have clearance. And then what you're going to want to do is, if you have enough space, use the jack stand. The jack stand is basically meant just to protect you. If you go underneath the car, or if the car is up off the ground and you have the wheel off, doing like a, let's say you have a flat tire on the side of the road and you need to change it out, this is going to end up being there to protect you from that situation. Now, whether the car comes with one from the factory is hit or miss, but you know. And then you can jack it up a little bit more, give you the space you need, and then slide it up underneath. Looks like I have to go one more. Just enough so it can slide up underneath, and then you're going to want to take it to a point where either you can lock it up a cog or keep it in one position. Now, with this being in this kind of setup, you're pretty safe. So like, even if this went down, this would protect the car from dropping on you, your head, your body, your feet, your legs, arms, whatever is up underneath the car, especially if that wheel's off. That wheel's off, the only thing that's stopping that thing from slamming into the ground is the rotor, and the rotor will turn into a knife if you're up underneath there. That thing will slice you in half, because you're not stopping 3,000 plus pounds from slam. You're not stopping that. Your body is not meant to handle that kind of weight. Not at a sharp point anyways. Now, what you can do, you can use like a block of wood or something that would help sponge it up a little bit. But if you absolutely have to, I wouldn't get up underneath it. Some people take the wheel off and shove the wheel up here if they're working on brakes or something, just in case, to kind of give it, that would give it about roughly probably an 8-inch gap from the ground, so that would make you pretty safe. But I mean, if you're on the side of the road and you don't have a side jack or a jack stand, just try to limit the ability, you know, your amount of under car space. Let's say the jack fails. It's pretty rare, but it happens enough that it's an issue. I mean, usually what happens is the hydraulic itself gives out, and then the whole thing just drops down. And obviously, if you're doing something like me, like I work on my car a lot by myself, you're kind of in a position where you are relying on someone else either to see you trapped under a car or to probably find you dead. It sounds rough to say it like that, but I just want to bring that to people's attentions, because, and that's not something you want to mess around with, because there's too many things that can happen when a car falls on you. And a car itself, obviously the car doesn't care. The car does not care if you're in pain, if you're dying, doesn't care. So just use safety precautions when you're actually jacking a car up. That way it saves you, your family, everybody from any kind of grief that would happen from a car falling on you. And then to take it back down, reverse it, you know, we're just going to reverse everything. Let's say you got it all back on, you put the lug nuts back on, you tighten the lugs down. Now what you're going to want to do is, if it is lifted up, you just lift up the handle. It should drop all the way down. You can pull that out, and then with the jack itself, like I said, this little adjustment screw, most of them are like just little like hand nuts that are either righty tighty or lefty loosey. Go ahead and grip onto that. Like this one has a little barb that has like a two-sided tooth on it. You just back it down, but you're going to want to back it down slowly. So I'll let you see. So you're just going to want to twist it and slowly back it down so you can watch the wheels slowly. Now the clicking and stuff, I wouldn't really worry. That's just the jack spinning and all that. But now if you don't, let's say you're on the side of the road, you try to tighten the lug nuts down and the wheels start spinning, you can lower the car just enough that the tire grabs. don't put all the weight on that wheel yet. Just put it down just enough so the tire grabs. Tighten it up, because it's not going anywhere if the car's weight's on it. And then once you have tightened the lug nuts all the way down, go ahead, go back to it, and drop the car all the way back down. And then you're good to go. Now you're good, you're safe, you're not underneath the car anymore, it's lowered, wheels on, and that's it. I just wanted to make this video that way, just to show you guys, because I've seen a lot of people posting videos about people being underneath cars and having friends and stuff have issues from said cars dropping on them, or have a friend or family member that they had it happen to. And I'm just trying to bring this up that way, you know, for people that don't know, because I know there's a lot of people that aren't into cars, and I get it. Everybody has their own thing. This is just out there to kind of bring attention to that situation. If you like the video, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any comments or questions about it, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'm sure me or somebody else will comment on it and try to give a little bit better perspective of it. And if you're actually into cars, go ahead and follow the YouTube channel. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.